tonight.
This is a day you will never forget.
It's an epic
On your marks.
super challenge
Go!
that will bring one person's journey
6 of you left Camp Biggest Loser,
to a shocking end
but only 5 of you will return.
as the contestants face an agonizing decision.
It was either take the stairs or bungee. Oh, I don't want to do this. Get over it and just do it.
In the ultimate race
I was pushing the limits.
for their survival.
Today we knew that something big was on. Walking through this beautiful bushland and beautiful countryside, admiring the view, and then we spotted AJ.
When AJ's here, there's something on. It's either a weigh-in or a challenge or something big. So it's always something serious when you see AJ.
Kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora, AJ.
Welcome to the beautiful Waikato River, home of New Zealand's famous Hooker Falls. The setting of your biggest challenge to date, the Super Challenge.
AJ confirmed all my fears right at the start. She said it was the super challenge. God only knows what today's going to bring, but it's always going to be fun.
This is a day you will never forget, because by the end of this challenge, one person's Biggest Loser journey will come to an abrupt end. 6 of you left Camp Biggest Loser, but only 5 of you will return.
It came as a real shock to hear AJ say that someone was going to be eliminated today and go home. We've all grown so close. It's going to be really hard to see one of us go.
Here's how today's Super Challenge will work. First, you will race 4 kilometres on mountain bikes through unforgiving terrain. You will cycle all the way to the world-famous Hooker Falls. But don't spend too long enjoying the view, because at that point, the race will have only just begun. It's there at Hooker Falls that you go from bike to hike, as you begin a gruelling 3-kilometre foot race following the spectacular Waikato River. By this point, you will have covered 7 kilometres of picturesque yet punishing track. But remember to keep some energy in reserve, because you're going to need it. Standing between you and the finish line are the fast-flowing rapids of the Waikato River, which you must kayak a further 1.5 kilometres. And then it's a final 100-metre sprint to the finish line, where you will face one last challenge.
Jesus.
Waiting for you at the finish line are 6 different food items, each varying in calories. Your goal is to choose the food with the lowest amount of calories. Whoever is left holding the food with the highest amount of calories will be eliminated.
As bad as it sounds, I think Mum or Cam may be the ones to lose this. I think they're not as quick or not as fast, so it could be them, which means the rest of us will be safe.
One final word of warning. Today, you will hit a fork in the road that will challenge everything you've learnt this week. Good luck, everyone. Let the challenge begin.
Thanks, AJ.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck, all of you. Be safe.
On your marks. Get set.
The last time I was on a bike, I was probably about 11 or 12, and that was when I broke my arm.
Go!
And I've never gotten on a bike since. They scare the hell out of me. It was completely freaking me out.
On your marks. Get set.
It's really weird going into a super challenge knowing that someone could be going home. It's horrible, but as we said at the start, you know, you could come first in the race, you could come last, and you could still get your calories wrong, and I felt really uncomfortable knowing that I was going up against Dad.
Go!
Sean got off to a really quick start, followed by Megan, and then, surprise, Cameron. He was really good on the bike.
The first part of the trail was very easy. It was nice and compact, so you had no problems with riding it. Then once you got down, probably about a kilometre in, the terrain, it was very rough. Some caution had to be taken, but I was still going hard.
Going down on the trails on the mountain bike was so much fun, but quite scary at some points. If you make a wrong move, you're off the cliff. So some bits were really scary, but I loved it. I was riding up and down the hills. I just loved it. Something I'll do again.
Halfway through the bike leg, Tiff passed me going up one of the big hills, and that gave me something to chase too. It was good because I kept up with her for quite a while then, and until I ran into trouble. I ran off the road, and then I tried to get back on the road, and didn't do a very nice entry. I fell off, landed on my shoulder, and it really did get me pretty good, you know. But it was okay, no worse than falling off a treadmill, and I've done that before. So I got up and got into it straight away, and Sam never caught me, so I was doing okay, and I didn't lose much time, you know, so away I went.
Being on a spin bike is nothing compared to being on a mountain bike. Every little rock I saw, I was like, oh my God, I'd completely freak out about it and go on the side of the track and get all unbalanced. Shocking on a bike, absolutely shocking. Spin bike any day.
Being in last place didn't surprise me at all. The narrow tracks where it dropped off I wasn't happy with, so I pushed most of those, and I pushed the bike most of the hills as well because I just didn't have the strength in my legs to pedal up them a lot. But the wider tracks and the flatter tracks, I was able to get back on the bike and give it a bit of a go, so I was quite happy with that.
Getting to the end of that mountain bike leg, there was a conch shell, and we had to blow into it and then turn around and start our running leg. So got up there, let out an almighty blow. Wasn't the best blow, but not bad for a non-Maori person, so off I went and started on the running leg.
At the end of the bike leg, I threw my bike down, ran over to the shell, blew in it, and then I was off. I was out of there.
I was very confident that I was going to finish in first place and have a very good lead, so that'll give me the time that I could use to make the right choice with my decision on what food I was going to take.
Getting off that bike, my legs were like jelly because it's quite hard to pump and push your legs around those pedals up a hill. I knew that I really had to put in here because I knew how fast Sean and Megan were. And if I was to stand any chance of catching up, I knew that I'd have to jog and run that whole 3 kilometres.
I was pushing the limits a bit, but I knew I had to. I had to make up time in this section, so I knew I had to push to the limit, and hey, I'm still breathing, so I'm still going. Then I had it all settled down, and then... I was pushing the limits a bit, but I knew I had to. I had to make up time in this section, so I knew I had to push to the limit, and hey, I'm still breathing, so I'm still going. And then I had it all settled down, and then it was a tree stump. I thought it was a little scrub that I was just going to go through, and in the last second, it was a tree stump. and that stopped the bike straight away. As I said, it stopped the bike, not me. I took off like Superman, landed in front of it. It did hurt. Knees, shoulder, hip. It was okay, you know. Thought I'd get up and keep going. A lot of these things work their way out, so I'll get back on, I'll get going.
Getting to the fork in the road, I got to a signpost and it had a note saying, "Your kayaks are at the river below. You have two options to get to the kayaks. One is to bungee jump, two is to take the stairs. If you were to take the stairs, you had to wait 30 minutes. If you were going to bungee jump, you could do it immediately. There's no point waiting around 30 minutes. So I decided to take the bungee jump option.
One thing that I did notice on the running leg was I wasn't running as freely as I had run in weeks before because of the bike accident. So, you know, we'll see how we go after a kilometre or two and see what I can do.
Running along the track, I was happy, I was feeling fit and fine until I got to the fork in the road and read the sign. It was either take the stairs or bungee. Bungee is by far my biggest fear. I can't stand the thought of standing on the edge and throwing myself off. So for me, I'm thinking it has to be the stairs.
Starting the run, I was in 5th place. I knew I wasn't going to beat Megan, Sean or Tiff, but Dad was sort of a little bit ahead of me. I'm not a good runner, but all I know is that I have to push hard, don't stop for 1 second, and they're probably all the rules I have.
Bungee jumping has been one of my biggest fears. I've always wanted to do it, but I've always been scared of what may happen to me, especially being a larger person. 47 metres is a long way down.
Chin on your chest.
I did feel a little bit hesitant at that stage, but I knew I'm here to face my fear and I was about to do it.
Not wiping the bungee completely out, I went up the stairs and had a look around. As I was going up the stairs, I actually heard Sean bungeeing.
3, 2, 1, bungee.
I shouldn't have seen that because it scared me that much more. I'm in 2nd place. I want to keep 2nd place so bad, and that's the only thing driving me towards this bungee.
At that stage, the race wasn't even in my mind. Knowing that I had done a 47-metre bungee jump, one of the best feelings in the world, and I'd conquered another one of my fears. So the race was taking a back seat at that point in time.
Being in last place didn't surprise me at all. When I get to the plates of food, being in last place, I'm not going to have a choice. I'm going to take whatever's there. The only hope I had that someone else may have made a mistake in front of me and chosen badly, that was the only thing I could hope for.
As I arrived, I saw Megan standing by a sign and she said, "Tiffany, come over and read this." I read out the sign and there was 2 choices on that sign.
Bungee jump 47 metres to the river below where your kayak awaits, or take the stairs.
Bungee jumping is something that I've always wanted to do. And since I've been here in New Zealand, I've ticked off skydiving and the last thing on my list was bungee.
Let's go. You're going to bungee? Come on.
No, I can't. I was strapped to the bungee cord and standing on the edge of the platform looking over, and I think that was my first mistake.
Oh my God.
My heart was down in my stomach and I was thinking, oh, I don't want to do this. I felt terrible. But once again, I just had to close my mind and think it's only for a few minutes.
3, 2, 1, bungee.
I realised I'd lost second place. I was losing more precious time. I started considering it. Maybe I'm just being a big wuss and you need to get over it and just do it.
Not far into the run leg, Samantha passed me. She gave me a big smile and said, "Come on, Dad." So that dropped me back from 4th to 5th spot. So only Julie behind me. So I'll keep going and see where we end up.
As I paddled away in my kayak, I assumed Sean was ahead of me, and I knew I had just passed Megan, so I knew that it was very likely I was in second place.
Running sort of out of the woods into basically a clearing, I could see Cam a bit further up, and he was walking, so I kept my little jog shuffle thing happening. And then when we levelled out at the top of the hill, I was able to actually overtake him.
Walking out across the platform, I spotted Megan straight away. Would you do it if I did it? If I did that and told you it wasn't as bad as I thought, or told you it was scary as hell but I loved it, would you do it after me? Together?
Can we do tandem?
Can you do tandem?
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Well, you can. Can we do tandem? We'll do it if we do tandem.
Seeing Sam pretty much good to go with the whole bungee idea made me realise maybe it's not that bad. Just give it a crack and you'll be right. And plus, it's a heck of a lot quicker than waiting out the rest of my penalty and using the stairs.
Going through, ladies, tandem.
You ready? I can't believe I said yes. We're doing it together. We've done everything else together, we'll do this together.
It's always more fun to jump off a bridge with a friend.
Standing up on the ledge at the bungee, Sam was saying if I do it, she'll do it.
Yes.
But if I don't do it, she won't do it.
So 30 seconds.
It put me in a real predicament. I have this massive fear about bungee and I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to overcome this fear.
Running up to the end of the race leg, I found the fork in the road.
To reach your kayak, you have two options. Bungee jump 45 metres to the river below, or take the stairs.
I got really angry after reading that letter and basically burst into tears. Not in my wildest dreams would I ever bungee jump. I hate the thought. So I had to incur that 30-minute penalty.
Got to the end of the kayak leg and there was a little cove with a beach. So I turned into that and just paddled strong into the beach and pulled my kayak up onto the beach and got out and just started running towards the finish. I think my competitive nature hasn't changed at all in this journey. I've always been competitive. It's now that I can compete a little better that it comes out a little bit more. And I think that's holding me in great stead in this challenge. Once I broke the finish line, I gathered myself for a little bit and then walked over to see what the options of the food were. There were two there I was looking at, was the blueberries and the wheat bix with the skim milk. I had an idea of what they would be, but the other four options I wasn't really sure on, so I decided to take the wheat bix and skim milk.
I dragged up my kayak up out of the water level and then took off. My heart was racing because I knew this was the last 100-metre dash before the end of the race.
When I arrived at the fork, I could see down the bungee track and I could see Julie standing there. So I went down there to see what was going on. Julie was down there waiting for Samantha and Megan to do the jump. They were going to do a twin jump.
And I could see that she was getting anxious. And I just wanted to pull them back, put my arms around them And I know Cam was feeling the same, and just, you know, give them a bit more security. They just look so insecure.
We were just looking at our 2 children that we brought on this journey strapped together over a massive drop. We were both terrified for them.
Okay, chin on your chest, ladies.
Ready, Bubba?
Here we go. Good.
So I just go forwards.
Yep, here we go. 3. Wrong way.
I can't do it.
You can.
What's wrong with me? Nothing. You're just scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared. But I know for a fact if you get off, you're going to be so angry at yourself you didn't do it.
Being out on that ledge, even though I knew I had Sam right beside me, was by far the scariest thing I've ever done.
Here we go, ladies.
Eyes closed.
Hands up.
Come this far.
Chin on your chest. 3, 2, 1.
I seriously got out there, freaked out, clamped up, and I couldn't move. I just couldn't control myself. I was that scared, I couldn't control my body. I couldn't control the tears, I couldn't control my breathing. I just freaked out megally. I've never done that about anything before in my life. But this one I just couldn't control.
As I ran up from the shore, I saw flags set out and I saw the end line. And there set up in front of me were stumps with plates of food set out. Instantly, I knew that blueberries were the lowest calorie food there.
I know what blueberries are. I'm going to go with these.
My 30 minutes flew by, and all of a sudden it was time for me to go, and Megan and Sammy hadn't made their jump yet. And I thought if I stayed, I could be jeopardising my position in the game. So I got into the kayak expecting them to pass me because my balance isn't good and I'm certainly not fast. And I didn't want to fall in, so I took things very carefully.
As I hopped in the kayak and I looked up and the 2 girls are still up there, so I thought action speaks better than words. I'll hop in the kayak and start to go, and that might be the incentive they need to jump, you know.
One step, one step, one step, one step, one step, one step.